Welcome to Drawing in Readers with Library Signage. Whether it is creating customized genre labels for your fiction books or designing nonfiction genre tags that draw in your readers, clear labeling is important. Watch this session to see how to create labels that meet the needs of your readers. The signage also makes it easier for students, staff, and the library team to find just the right books for their needs. Canva's diverse element library provides images to create a consistent image to draw in readers while maintaining grade level appropriate signage. So, what does that mean? Canva makes it easy to create customized genre labels for your books and engaging nonfiction tags to draw in your readers and help them find just the right books. Hi, my name is Jen Legatt. I'm a library media specialist from Minnesota. I am a maker, a reader, a collaborator with my fellow teachers and librarians. I'm an advocate for libraries and education. I work at Jackson Middle School, the largest middle school in the state. With 2,000 students, I have worked to make our library user-friendly to help students find just the right books as independently as they can. I love to make book connections, but I also love to encourage students to explore the shelves and find new books to read. In this presentation, I will combine information with step-by-step demonstrations. For those of you who are experienced with Canva, you may already know these skills, but many people attending these workshops are brand new to the software. Plus, there's always something new to learn. I plan to start with creating fiction genre tags, and then move to nonfiction shelf tags, and then creating matching signage. We'll see how much time I have left from there. My contact information will be at the end if you'd like to ask questions or just to connect. When starting at Jackson Middle School 2 years ago, the books had colored tape over the spine tags to designate genres. I wanted to switch out to genre tags as some of the colors were very close to each other. Plus, for users who were colorblind, the colored tape wasn't very helpful. I shopped through the various vendors, and I didn't find styles and colors that were consistent with the tags that I would like. Colors would overlap, like two blues that were very close, or the images were not what I had imagined. So I decided to create my own tags. This was before I was a very big Canva user. Now that I've learned a lot about Canva, I realize how much easier this work would have been if I had used Canva as my design tool. Your first step will be to choose which would be your main genres for your library. These are the big areas such as historical books or mystery books. Having these set will help you set your colors and themes. I did create secondary genre labels for those themes that go across multiple genres, such as animal books, humor, Minnesota books, and romance. This way, these books would still be shelved in their main genres, such as realistic, but the romance sticker would allow students to browse and still find those books. The tags I created for JMS are both in alphabetical and rainbow color order. For this presentation, I chose these themes and put them in alphabetical order: adventure, biography, classics, fantasy, graphic novels, historical, mystery, picture books, realistic, sci-fi, sports, supernatural, and world languages. So inside of the elements, I searched for color palette, and I went to the see all to see what the different options were. And there were some options. How many are in this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So not quite enough. Color palette, 14 colors. Get a little bit bigger of an option here. I tried the Magic Media earlier too, and that didn't give me what I wanted. So looking through, there's a lot with 12. Of course, I had done 13. This set of markers has enough colors for what I'm planning to do for my genre. So I'm going to copy this and move it to my list of genres. So this is one of the tools that actually made me fall in love with Canva. Now I'm going to assign colors for each of the different genres. So if I highlight the word adventure, I can go over here to the color tool and I can hit the plus and use the dropper, and I'm going to pull from the eraser, and now I have the red. The great thing about having such a diverse rainbow like is in this picture here, um, is if you wanted to add a color that's in the middle or another word that's in the middle, there's enough diversity in these colors that you could add something in between these. I had to do that in my library after watching the kids read only Wimpy Kid, and if there were no Wimpy Kid books on the shelf, they would stop and they would leave. Over the summer, I added a section called Illustrated Fiction. Well, the illustrated fiction fell in my library between two other colors. I was able to use the color tools in design programs and picked a color that was between them. While they're little close when they're next to each other, with the images being different enough, we were able to come up with a genre tag that made illustrated fiction. Even though I had used a rainbow like this, I was able to find a color in between the two different rainbow pieces. Once you have all of your colors assigned, you can always adjust and see if there's some that are a little close to each other. In that case, you would come in and go back up to the color palette. You can click on these little two lines and go and adjust and make them look different enough. This one needs to be a little bit lighter because it was a little bit too close to the other colors. You can create and save a color palette so you don't have to pull up the markers every time you want to get those same colors. Markers on your page each time. So when you click on the colors or the letters or any of your color elements, down near the bottom here you can see My School's palette. You can click Edit and add a palette and create a new one. And then because I had clicked on that red before, it is added. You can come over to the orange and click plus, and that orange is added. Yellow, not the black, I want the yellow. There we go. Sometimes it's a little finicky. Yellow, the lighter green. And then you can name your color palette. And click Save. The genre tags that I designed and will show you how to make will fit onto these blank 1" by 3" labels such as these from Demco. I'm sure there are other suppliers of the similar size label, but they're called Demco White Multi-Purpose Processing Labels 1" by 3/4". For making the fiction tags, I suggest using a presentation style in Canva. It works well for layering, and it's made to have multiple slides, which will end up being your different tags. For the fiction tags that I have designed, I have stuck to just the single color and black. Canva has a lot of image options that could bring in color, but I wanted to go with more of the simple option. It's a personal design choice. I wanted to explain this before you watched my design process coming up in the next slides. And we are going to choose a presentation. Once the presentation loads, of course it's slow when somebody else is watching, we are going to go to the resize and magic switch option. We are going to go to custom size, switch it to inches, and do width 0.75, 0.75 by 1 inch, and hit continue and resize this design. And now you'll see that it has the dimensions of a genre label. Now our first step will be to take on finding the right font. I am going to get my brain into the design process. I am going to choose one of the genre colors that we picked. These are our colors from our design, and this green is our mystery color. Now, when we want to look for a text, a font, we are going to want to find a font that is very clear to read and maybe something that is narrow or condensed. We want to be able to get a whole word across even some of the longer words like supernatural. I should have picked the supernatural color. I'm going to fix that. The supernatural color is the purple. So I'm going to get my mind into supernatural color. And I want this to be as big on the genre tag as I can, but also be readable. So Comic Sans isn't doing it for me. We've got some condensed colors here. Barlow condensed. With this one, if I pull it up, that's pretty decently wide. This is one of our longer words. I like that one. I'm going to put this one up as a runner, a front runner. One of the other words that you can search for is narrow. And so looking through these, a lot of them are really kind of fancy. We want something that's easy to read but narrow. Nope, that one's even wider. How about this one? Placard next. That's a decent, but I find the first one easier to read. And one of the fonts that I have used recently, there's one called Extenda. And that one, look how big and beautiful those letters can get. I think I like this one, but you can go with whatever font feels best to you. I'm going to delete these others, and the font for this one is called Extenda 30 Deca, is what it is. So now that I have my font, I can go out to the elements. The elements within the search, we want to find something that is simple yet powerful, and then I talked about different levels. So with supernatural, if we want to look up a ghost for an elementary kid will be a very different feel than a ghost for a secondary level. So if I bring over this ghost, remember when it prints, it's going to only have two colors. Up at the top here, I do not see that I can change the color of the white on that ghost. So that ghost is not going to be a winner. I'm going to bring over this ghost. Looks like I can change only the black. Oh, there's black, and I can change that purple. That isn't a true black. That looks like a very nice elementary supernatural ghost. He's not very scary. He's kind of got a smile, kind of that spooky nature. Now I'm going to duplicate this, and now I'm going to go find a better secondary level, scarier ghost. Look at that one with the 2 fingers. but also it's got to show up nicely on and be a simple image on the tag. It's got to be easily recognizable. Ooh, I like the shape of the bat, but those have eyes. So if we do bats, could bring over that picture really big. Picture with a bat for the supernatural. And earlier there was a picture of like a ghoul. I just want the shape. One way you can do is try the word shape. That will help you possibly. The other way you can try is going to the narrow and choose just white or just black or just one color, and it is possible that you get more options that are more simple because it's just one item. Okay, nothing's winning there. I'm going to go back to ghost because I'm getting those anyway, but this is ghost. Remember, I have that filter on for white, and maybe a scarier ghost here, or maybe we've got the tombstone, but I'm going to have to turn every piece. No, those lines aren't bold enough on that tombstone to make it stand out. I liked it though. We need nice solid lines. Okay, here we go. That's what secondary kids might recognize. I'm going to change those whites and grays to that purple. And again, that's not a true black, so I'm going to change that black color. There we go. A nice supernatural tag that will stand out on the edge of those books. Okay, I'm going to go back up, and now mystery. Mystery is that kind of green. I'm going to make another page. I'm going to change the background to, those are distracting, 2. Going down to my palette. Mystery was not the light green, but the darker green. Perfect. And I'm going to copy the words, the letters that we found. Can't type when people are watching. Now we could keep all the fonts the same size, or you can choose to make it bigger because you have the room. Personally, I liked them all the same size on mine. That means mystery is a little bit smaller, but that gives us some room to work with the design. So we're going to come over here. I'm just going to start with the word mystery. I got my ghost again. So again, we're looking for simple images. We've got some moving ones showing up. So I'm going to go static only and try to come up with an elementary image. Will elementary kids know what a magnifying glass is? Probably. I'm going to duplicate this unless I come up with a better one. I kind of like this detective, but I also don't like putting gendered specific people in my genre tags if I can help it. Looking through, our ghosts keep showing up. A clue with a key. Maybe the word clue. Ooh, a fingerprint. Would a fingerprint stand out? I kind of like that. A case file, but a case file is going to be a strange shape. Magnifying glass. Maybe a magnifying glass over that fingerprint. Or how about police line? Tape. Nope, I don't like those. So not a fan. But look at this. You could even throw in, can we change the colors? We could. I'm going to duplicate this one. Leave that finger. You can even try to go with a dead body. If you have crime section, this might be a good image to go with that one. Now we have to play around and make it match the background. So we've got the white needs to turn to green. Not the whole thing. There we go. The light gray needs to be black. The yellows need to be black. And the dark gray needs to be green. I like that for my secondary. I don't think anybody's going to be looking at footsteps underneath a magnifying glass. So if I turn the direction of this and look, put this underneath, put the fingerprint under, there's a more elementary. So now in just a few minutes, I have created 2 mystery and 2 supernatural genre tags for my collection. Once you have your genre tags made, it's easy to take these designs and create posters that match. So if I go out to my home, create a design, this a custom size, inches, with 8.5 by 11, and you can paste your information. If you hold your shift key and drag along the corner, you can expand the size of everything. So on the sign, I wanted to actually say science fiction. And wow, those lines are far apart. If I come over, there's an up and down spacing. I can bring my line spacing and bring science fiction together. And you can paste your information. Now this is one of my images that I chose for my science fiction tag in a different part of the design process. I can take the design color, and there's science fiction. I can add an effect. Let's do the outline. Make the outline black. So we've got the same feel as the outlined robot. You can add a frame like this one. Make sure it is the same color of blue. And then you can paste in the definition. Now, this definition is really small. It's that Extenda 30 Deca. A little bit hard to read, so maybe let's try. This is another condensed font. If we make it bigger and a little bit narrower, we now have the definition along with the image and the description. Here is what the mystery sign could look like. It has the words with the black background, the image from the tag that we made, and the genre definition. Once the genre tags are on the books and the signs are matching and the colors are all unified, it's very easy for kids to find the right book in the right genre that they are looking for. Now we're shifting to nonfiction. With nonfiction tags, I found these shelf clips that easily designate the different sections, yet they can move as the sections may need to shift. The first time I designed tags, I made them in white. The second time, I did the opposite of the fiction labels. Since the labels are not sitting side by side, I wanted them to be descriptive and pop. I used color on the black background for these tags. I found these tags printed well, 16 to a page in landscape format and fit just right. Like with the fiction tags, I created a custom sized presentation that was 2 inches tall and 3 inches wide. I made half of the tag a black rectangle and the other half I left white, and I chose a simple font. For this example, I did stick with the simple Canva sans. I wanted to focus on the topic as it's more important to the student. The Dewey numbers are included, but they take lower priority. They're smaller and not bolded. The nonfiction tags might give you a chance to figure out what you have in your nonfiction section and possibly grouping together books that may be separated. My space science and my space travel were in separate places. I did put them together using mostly Dewey to get all the space books together. So here's an example of the technology 004 to 006. Can go out to elements. I want to look up technology. Again, Canva is an amazing treasure trove of images that you could use for this type of design. Now this time I do want color. I want something that will catch the student's eye, something that is more inclusive of all of the different areas of the technology that's at the very beginning of the Dewey Decimal System. Maybe computer coding. Let's try that. I want something that they also would recognize. Okay, this glowing computer is what's going to be. I probably would spend a little bit more time, but we're getting close to the end of the half hour here. So I'm going to put this here. And because there is two sides, there's a top and a front, I actually am going to copy this. Didn't go in the right spot. Copy, paste. Made a shelving helper for me and the people who helped me shelve of what the different pieces are when it was more specific. We've got other areas like natural disasters. Thinking about a natural disaster, we've got earthquakes. This house falling apart. Maybe, yeah, it looks like an earthquake. You can see the little shaky lines. There we go. Dinosaurs, of course. Even middle school kids love their dinosaurs. Maybe one that looks more realistic and not too elementary. I'm going to go back. Ooh, I like this. Let's talk about fossils. Yes, that one's still kind of elementary, but... Or insects. I know we have a book on bees in our library insect section. Now this bee with the black won't stand out, but I wonder how this guy would. Nope, he's going to disappear into that black. Trying to find a bee that's realistic enough, but also won't disappear. He is going to do for now. And you just repeat for each of your different sections. This might even be a good project for you to assign to kids in Canva. Assign it as a project, as a challenge, and choose the best ones to be your new nonfiction shelf labels. I tried to balance between the big ideas on how to create things like genre tags and signs, as well as the how-to in this presentation. This could be a full day or a full week workshop. This summer, I do plan to document my journey with this work in the JMS library. If you have any questions about the process, my work, or anything else Library World related, please feel free to reach out over email. Thank you for attending this workshop. Have a wonderful day.